Going on, guys? Be sure to watch this video from the beginning to the end because there's going to be some good details in here for you. All right, so this is what we got going on. I have a mentorship program that's $15,000. There's no buy button because you just can't get in. My email address is below if we want to talk and see if you're a suitable candidate. Also, this is the program for everyone. The King program, links below. It's $3,000 one and done, or you can get in on the payment plan, which is $200 a month for 24 months. Link is below. There's a few other goodies below. I think I'll get round to, this is the business channel. This is the wealth development channel. I don't know what's going to happen with the main channel, but this is where we're going to be talking business, and this is where the Kill Switch Chronicles of all the other business models I'm going to do, they will be here. All right. There's a false notion that you need to have business credit to be in business. I've seen people talk, I hate when people use the word play. Truist Bank was running this play. Truist Bank was not running a play. Truist Bank had a strategy that failed because they ended that play. You want to know why? They were giving $50,000 lines of credits to people who were not able to pay them back, so they stopped that play. And you hear it over and over ago. There was this one guy, I think he's Haitian, he's skinny, and he talks about all this business credit. Let me share a story with you. And it's going to be really, really important to this. When I had a job, I had the opportunity to sell furniture for another company, and they gave me 50% of the proceeds. And that got me $250,000 cash money in the bank. That was my seed money for everything that I've done from the storage auctions up to the day. I've never taken out a loan. I've never borrowed any money. I've never used business credit. None of that stuff to start a business. None of it. So number one, I always had cash. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about recent business. I'm getting ready to do the whatnot thing. Actually, today, we actually hired 2 employees, and we're working on that. And that starts today. And I spent $15,000 getting that set up. This whole notion that you need to be able to borrow money, it's false. You need to have some money, but it doesn't have to be borrowed. And this is one of the things I'm talking about because, going back to the King program, a lot of you've got bad money habits. You don't save money, you don't manage money correctly, and that must be fixed before you start making a lot of money. Why? All right, you got bad money management habits right now. I'm going to share a story with you that happened over and over and over again when I was in the storage auction business. There was this guy. I bought this unit. It was a failed restaurant unit. I mean, it had restaurant equipment. It had the coffee makers and stuff in there, but it also has personal details. And I got to read through it, and dude was driving the Mercedes. His wife was driving the Mercedes. His girlfriend was driving the Mercedes. So he was spending all of this money. Based upon the records, the restaurant was making plenty of money, but he was spending it so fast and doing all this crazy stuff. He had a wife, he had a girlfriend. I guess he had families all over this place. So, because he did not know how to regulate his spending, and we'll talk about that in a minute, it just got out of control and the restaurant shut down, and then more than likely filed bankruptcy. But you have to regulate your spending. My first year of making it, I was doing about $20,000 a month. And when I first came on YouTube, I was living in an apartment. I had 2 houses. I sold the houses because I didn't know I was going to pay for them. So I was living in an apartment and I was making $20,000 a month. And then it picked up, and I had my first $1 million year. Guess what? My lifestyle did not change. I didn't get a house. I didn't get a bigger place. I stayed in that apartment because I had the house 2008, 2009. I moved in an apartment around 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. So I stayed in that apartment even though I had $1 million income. I did not vastly upgrade my lifestyle. I did not start spending. I didn't even buy a new car. I just let that money sit in the bank. And then once I became sure that this thing was going to work, that's when I started spending the money. And that's when I moved into a house. So this whole notion of business credit, if you have a good business, let's talk about that. You have a good business, you don't need business credit. When my first, let's talk about, I wrote the book, and that was my first digital product. And then I created an online course, and I went through some trials and tribulations for about 1.5 years on that. And then I found Thinkific, and I created the first version of Hustler's Kung Fu, and I was charging like $150. And I had that first week where I made $20,000 in a week. And then that's when it started to scale up. Once again, this business required me not. I had a Chase credit card that I used for everything because it had rewards. I was like, my limit at the time was like 10,000. I was like, bam, 10,000, and then 2-3 days later, once it settled, I pay it off. It was like 10,000. I did that for like 4 months. Then Chase zoomed my limit up to $50,000 because I was using that card so heavily and paying it off so quickly. So I used that card for fun. I used that card to travel. Because I used that card so much, I did not pay for a plane flight for 5 years. And I flew first class using my Chase points. So my business was so good, I did not need business credit. I did not need a business credit card because my business was just making cash. And this is one of the things that I'm striking back on all these business credit gurus. You could get this business credit, you could get these funds. No. Start a business that makes some fucking money. That's your win. You start a business that makes money. All this business credit, once again, this is why I'm very different than the majority of people online, because I've actually started a business that made money. Actually was able to create a situation where money was on the table, right? So you don't need business credit if you start a business that is a good business. And this is one of the things that just pisses me off, like business credit. No, start a good business. Start a business that serves people. Start a business that makes money. That's the key. That's the way you win. All right, talk to you guys in the next one.